got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might.
This is the NFL on EA Sports as we welcome you from the East Bay and Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Let's go. Check the outlaw. 52 right here. Hey, pick your game up. Check 31. Check 31. Let's go.
On first down, it's McNabb. And the Broncos get there and take him down. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
A quick throw out to Adams on the perimeter. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
McNabb to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up first and 10 at the 40.
Check 3, check 3, check 3. 3. Zoom, fellas, let's go. 9:55. Let's get the ball.
Here's Mariota. And he's got his man on the out route. That throw good for 4. It's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out.
And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sag. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
50 seconds, Mike. Get out stride. Get the leg room. 50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds to Mike.
Third and long here for Mariota. And the pressure gets to him again.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
On fourth down, it's Trevor Daniel to punt. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Raiders will take over now first and 10. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch.
I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. 71 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out, a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
55, come on, guys, 55. Wild bill, wild bill.
From the 31, Mariota over the middle. That's caught by Owens. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Just like that.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. We got it. Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55. 3.
Working out of the gun, Mariota dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First down, Denver.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. Mariota to throw it. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Hey, 4 down. 57, Mike, 57. I'm coming after you.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Second quarter from Oakland. The homestanding Raiders with the football here as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Second quarter from Oakland. The homestanding Raiders with the football here as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Now they try the right side here. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Let's go, defense. Let's go. Mike 52. Watch QB drop. Hey, Mike 52.
From the gun, here's McNabb. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He goes to you, it's you. He comes to me, it's me. Mike, 55.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Mariota, his throw incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for, and it's 3rd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing is Mariota. Got a man on the right sideline. That's Owens. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Watch the eye. 94 is the mark. 94 is the mark. Set the tone, defense.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A 6-yard touchdown run as they are now on the board here in the first half. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Here's McNabb. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
Now it's McNabb. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To throw, McNabb. Flushed out right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. On now is the field goal team. Here's the Raiders. We'll try for 3. This one from 46 yards out. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see. So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Where are they, team? Check, crunch. Chopper.
Play action now. Mariota. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sand. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. Off the play fake, Mariota. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards. They'll run on 1st down. Johnson. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the 44, Mariota escaping, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Let's 57, 57, look. I'm coming for you. You mine. Hey, check Mike 57, Mike 57. Hey, watch 3. 57.
From the gun, Mariota. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over. With a new set of downs. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 28-yard line.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground again here. Space to maneuver at the 40. And a cutback, right sideline. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Kill.
They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the... We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this? Here it comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose, and the Raiders have recovered. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Switch up.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Now McNabb. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And his kick is indeed good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. On the draw, this will be Freeman. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Now on 2nd and 13. Mariota. Johnson was the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Go. One.
So that'll back them up 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. To throw is Mariota. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Danielle Hunter able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. The Broncos send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Come on, boy. You better be ready.
Now a handoff looking right. And they work this out past the 25. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Now a first down throw. McNabb. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
And that's the second sack of the game. But this player, disruptive in all phases. Whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. McNabb. And that's complete to Adams. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, McNabb. He's got a man. That's Marshall. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 41. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this one down to the 45.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for third down.
Playing pass all the way.
They'll set up a throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. It's not going to end in points, but, you know, you consider where this drive started. You probably label it a success.
I do, and I know that without points, it's hard to say that a drive truly was a success. But think of it this way. Changing field position, maybe giving your defense a little bit of a break.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in the East Bay. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the fourth. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's see what you got. Hey, Mark 52, Mark 52. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Here's 2nd and 8. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game. They had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes, and we'll be in great shape.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is fielded at the 27. And all the way home for a Broncos score. He returns that punt 73 yards. And the Broncos push further out in front. McManus's point after is good. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll look to throw. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever.
Check, hustle, hustle. Check 52's the mic. They gonna need some therapy after this. Watch the
They're going to look to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st down, it's Johnson. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Under 10.
Again, it's Johnson. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. To throw Mariota. And the catch made by Johnson. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Throwing, Mariota. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, let a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
McNabb to throw. And that's complete to Marshall on the crossing route. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play that time for the Raiders. 45 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw here. There's the middle, it's complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Well, this defensive unit certainly picked a great time to make a stand. Back-to-back sacks, starting with 1st and goal. Have to believe that they'll continue to bring the pressure on 3rd down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And this one is right through. And that'll make this an 8-point game. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. And they'll indeed take a knee. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with exactly 1 minute to go in the football game.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
And they take a knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 4th down.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. Now the Broncos are going to call the 1st of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep, and that's caught inside the 35. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?